doing content together for about a year and a half. We started just with a Minecraft UHC a year and a half ago, and it's grown from there into just a group of friends. So again, like I said, I'm MP the Worst, and I'm going to go down and have everybody introduce themselves. And as you're doing that, we got a question on Twitter, which was if you could invite any woman from history to be part of Godiva Gaming, who would it be? So I'm going to go ahead and say Sally Ride, the female American astronaut.
I thought you were going to start at the other end, and now I feel all this pressure to go. No, it's okay. I'm Aurelian, and if I had to pick one female, I would probably pick Susan B. Anthony, because she would be like the most awesome, didn't take stuff from anybody person who'd be like, all right, let's go in. Like, I just want to picture Susan B. Anthony like playing Halo. Like, that just image makes me really happy. So that's who I would pick.
Hi, I'm Lady M, and I would pick, because today is the 4th of July in the United States, I'm going to pick Betsy Ross. So maybe she could make her flag in Minecraft.
Awesome. Hey, I'm from Symmetry. I would pick Cleopatra. Not for any particular reason. She would be pretty stylish and, you know, kill a bunch of people and stuff. Yeah.
I'm Griffonia, I can call me Graph. I think if I were to invite any lady from history to join me on a Minecraft server, it would be Martha Graham the dancer. I think she could build some really very graceful builds. Hello. Hello. I'm overeating. No, I'm Starrlett, and I would choose Sylvia Plath because she has a lot of sass in her poetry, and I think all the kind of death chat and everything like that in UHCs would be really fun to see her in there. So.
I have my own Starrlett.
Green tea.
So my name is Sandy. My choice in this matter is Joan of Arc, I would say. I think she's a good, strong woman from history, and I'm sure a lot of people know who she is. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Wynn, and I think if I were to pick somebody, it would be Amelia Earhart, because it had to take a lot of guts for her to get in that plane. So that's why I'd pick.
Hi, I'm Paige of Macy's. Wow, that's really loud. And I would pick Rhodesia, mostly just to stick her on a team with Blue and Sally and watch them decimate everyone.
Ari says she wished she could pick the Spice Girls.
About it. And I was like, oh wait, Ginger Spice would be the best.
Spice Girls themed UHC. Alright, so we're going to go down the line now and talk about some of our favorite memories from being part of an online community. Particularly, I think we're going to be touching on some of our best moments from the UHCs that we've done. All of our UHCs, for those of you who don't know what UHC stands for, it's ultra hardcore, and it's a kind of game mode in Minecraft where you all fight to the death and you don't regen health unless you use golden apples, things like that, and last person standing wins, or last team standing, as oftentimes you're teamed up. So what are some of your favorite memories, Mary?
The time I played with Paige of Maces, and I almost killed her with my axe in the very beginning. Twice!
That was so horrible! And you're so proud of it!
Mine would be, I think it was season 6, I looked it up, and it was this like big epic battle where the other team had like built like a cobblestone house and they had TNT and everything. They were trying to trick you to go up to the wall and then they would like blow it up and stuff, and it was crazy.
We don't know how to mic. We usually like have our own mic. We don't have to share. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My favorite memory from this group would be the UHC when I found FK's team coming over the hill and I slaughtered them all. I'm sorry. My favorite memory is from the charity Christmas UHC we did last time, where we tried to move the border in, and instead it moved in all the way to 0, 0 and simultaneously killed everyone. And a lot of us were streaming and had base cams, and we put together a big GIF of everybody's just faces, and yeah, that was something. That was very fun.
team with Blue and Federer, and there was a team fight. I completely zoned out. I was just murder. I'm gonna murder that team, so I kind of just went for it, killed them all, and Federer died burning, and I died to a wolf afterwards that Blue took with her, and I learned a valuable lesson. It was basically, don't have wolves in UHCs. Basically, don't do that. Don't do it. It's a bad idea if you're more than one person on the team.
I want to say that my favorite memory from UHC is probably after I broke my wrist and I was playing UHC one-handed, which was really, really difficult. I managed to actually get the jump my team on Sandy's team, and I managed to slay her, and I was done. I was like, I have won this UHC no matter what, because I have killed Sandy one-handed.
My favourite memory was probably the first live stream we ever did. I was the only one not streaming, I had most health, and I managed to melee a ghast to death in the nether. And no one saw it.
I threw off the whole system by making Kaysen in this seat as the moderator, so I apologize. I think my favorite moment from one of the UHCs that we've done, we did a UHC where we all got to invite a guest, and I got to invite my brother, which was really interesting for me because I'm his little sister, and my brother, like, for you guys don't know, was like all-star high school champion, was like the most popular kid ever, and I was like his dorky little sister. And so for the first time in gaming, my brother's a huge gamer, he was outnumbered by women, and I was like, A, get wrecked because I'm better than you, and B, you are like in girl territory now, and it totally changed his perspective on gaming. So like nothing monumental happened, but it was like a big moment for me where my brother was like, I guess you're cool, and I was like, yeah! And then he beat me again.
So, another question from Twitter was, do you hang out with each other when you're not doing UHCs, and how do you stay in touch with each other? Star, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, so we started off just sort of doing UHCs, but we kind of evolved into more of just a group where we could just chat to each other. I mean, our Skype group is busy like all the time, always chatting about stuff. Yeah, if you leave Skype for a day, you come back to like thousands of messages just everywhere. We have an announcement chat as well, so we can keep up to date with the really important stuff. But it's really nice to have a chat in still quite a male-heavy environment where you just want to chat to girls about girl stuff. And it's really nice to have a chat where you can just do that and just talk about anything you really want to. And it's just going to become a place, a springboard for where we can meet other people with similar kind of ideas about gaming and things like that. And a lot of us have done other series together. Like there's a Left 4 Dead series going on with a few of the ladies here right now. And we're starting up a podcast soon, and we're starting up lots of other games. So it's just been, yeah, we keep in touch really well. And it's been really surreal meeting everyone here today, because you talk to these people on a daily basis, and actually meeting them in real life, you just touch their face like, are you real? Are you here? So I think it's really good to have a dynamic like that, where you can feel comfortable talking to everyone as well as playing games with them, because I think it really shows on camera as well with commentary. You're really comfortable with who you're playing with, and there's like lots more jokes to be had, and you just feel a bit better with your play style, with your commentary style. So I would say we keep in touch really well with what we do, and I think like a lot of the ladies that I've met here, like, even when I'm done with YouTube, I'm going to be keeping in touch with, because it's not about the games as much for me, it's just about meeting everyone and talking to everyone and being able to share this part of my life with everyone. That sounded really cheesy.
So this panel is, first and foremost about building online friendships. So step one, how do you build a friendship if you haven't met anybody yet? Winter, do you want to talk about how you can meet people?
Well, this is a really funny story, and I get asked this a lot. My best friend, I met him because I was running a public server, and this is a good way to meet people, is go on public servers. But I was running a public server called Lol Nation, and a lot of people were coming on saying, oh, Poet Plays Rocks. I'm just thinking to myself, who's Poet? And so I had no idea, so I Googled him and found out apparently he'd advertised the IP for the server, and they'd shut down, and then my server took that IP. So I was like, so can you please remove that from your description? And then we found out we had similar interests. because he's in IT, or he was in IT at the time, and I'm in IT. So it was just a friendship that built from there.
And Sandy, do you want to talk about like how you can use forums to meet people?
Well, there's a lot of ways to start off when you try to find a server, when you actually try to find friends when you want to join a multiplayer Minecraft server. And they have a lot of alternatives on the internet, for example forums, where people post, hey, I am opening this server, do you want to play with us? People send in applications, and I did that so much before, and that's how I got to know a lot of the people. Basically through forums. And I think it's really like, forums that, yeah, there's some bad forums, but there's also some good forums.
Yeah, now when you're meeting strangers on the internet, there's obviously a lot of, not a lot, but some definite risks that can go with that. Do you want to talk about staying safe?
Sure, hi. So I think that when you're online and you're playing on servers, you're going to find people that you run into all the time, right? You're going to find people that you play with and find people that you may get to know a little bit of their personalities through playing with them online. As YouTubers, we kind of have this like guard up because we have our channels, because we don't often get a way to talk to just a limited number of people. So for me, like when I'm meeting someone online, like I met everyone in Godiva through MK. We met through Maddie.
We've been friends for 1.5 years. January, I think I just like reached out and I was like, hi.
It was through Twitch. So, like, you'll meet people that like kind of have the same circles, and then when you know someone that knows someone you know, you're like, okay, well that's a trusted person. It's really hard. Like, I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I don't want her to be online because I don't know how to safeguard her from certain individuals. So if you're playing online, whether you're a YouTuber or whether you're just logging on to, you know, Mineplex or whatever it is, like the most important thing is to never give personal information about yourself to someone, even if you think that you're getting to know them. So it's okay to have fun conversations and get to know people, but it's going to take a really long time and a level of trust to build up to the point where like you're okay meeting them in person. Like MK and I knew each other for months and months and months before we like really became friends, before we got to know each other. And then we went on a trip together to New York, and it was still like, I know you, I'm like gonna share a hotel room with you, like how does this happen? So it took a long time for us to kind of build up that credibility and be able to trust each other. So just make sure you don't give out personal information, and make sure that you're being very safe about what information you give to people. And it's okay to form online friends, but make sure that you don't take it to that next level without really making sure that you know who you're talking to.
I think that, sorry, especially when there's like kind of just open servers that anyone can join, it is a really good way to meet people without giving out personal information, because it might just start off with, oh, I need, 20 million stacks of cobblestone to make my build, does anyone want to help me? And someone might, give you that cobblestone, and then you kind of, you become on more friendly terms, and then you might end up like trying to build something together, and then you might start to build Skype a bit or something, and then you become friends through that, because like when you meet people in real life, I feel like it's more like, hi, my name is this, oh yeah, I live over there or whatever, and I'm studying this or I do this for work. Whereas meeting people through games, it's a lot more like, oh, I like this game as well. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, let's play that game together. Or oh yeah, and this happened and that happened, and I'm making this build at the moment, and this is, or I like this YouTuber or something like that. So it is definitely a really good way, kind of an icebreaker when you have a mutual game that you can play together, which is why Minecraft is so great, because there's so many different multiplayer things you can do, from survival servers to creative servers to mini games and things like that. So it's definitely a really easy way to meet and talk to people, and a very formal way at first. You kind of get to know if you do like them as a person or not. So I think it's definitely good for kind of making these online friendships without getting, too close to the sort of sharing personal information side of things.
So this next one is for Falls. How do you reach out and make that first contact with someone when you want to be friends or collaborate with them?
Well, as a YouTuber, I mean, that's really important. I mean, YouTube still has a messaging system, not that many people look at it, but I mean, Twitter's like a really, really great way of, just tweeting them or, liking their videos and, just getting to know someone slowly through that. If you similar size as yours, you know, just maybe messaging them and, you know, asking if they want to, you know, do a collab, maybe on something on their channel, maybe something on your channel, maybe doing something, you know, completely new to you both. It's a really, really good way of, you know, contacting people and, you know, same with Twitch and many other social media sites.
Yeah, I think becoming a regular in somebody's Twitch chat is a huge, huge way of kind of making that contact. But I mean, it takes a lot of dedication to be a regular, especially if they stream a lot.
Yeah, I stream daily, so yeah, I mean, people that turn up to mine, you know, daily, I remember their names like instantly. It's crazy to see. So, through Twitch, I have been on Twitch for a couple of years, and I still have the pleasure of working with them, so I get to meet a lot of my personal friends and people that I know through Twitch. And I have had friends that I formed because they were in my Twitch chat all the time, and you get to see how, like, respectful, or they'll leave comments, or they'll talk to you while you're playing your video, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool, I'm gonna mod that person. And I have on, like, for my moderators, we have a Skype chat, so that they can say, like, oh, hey, you've been talking for 5 minutes and your microphone is muted, and through that, they kind of, like, become friends, and so I have a community of people that I have become friends with because they've come to my Twitch chat so often. They become moderators and they help me out and they do all these different things. And now we actually, when we went on vacation, we went to New York to meet up with a lot of the people that we've been friends with for years online through meeting on Twitch. So it's a great way to just kind of show your personality and show, like, your dedication, your maturity level by being able to, small little bits at a time, talk about yourself via Twitch chat.
Okay, so now here's a good one for Graf. How do you handle the drama that inevitably comes when you're working with people?
Whoa, so we have time for a whole other panel, right? This is a pretty important question, actually, because anytime that you're with a group of people of any size, of any kind, there's going to be drama. And although, you know, Godiva Gaming, we're perfect, we've never had any drama in chat at all, ever. That's not true. But the way that you handle it, it depends on the situation, but online, the best way to handle it, in my opinion, is go as low-key as possible. Because the more that you try to add to the flame, the bigger it's going to get. If there's anything that's true about the internet, it's that fires spread very quickly, and that people can get very, very hurt very quickly. So if you sense drama happening, whether you feel like you really want to start it yourself, or you see it coming, or you can hear, I've actually had a few things that were, people were saying some mean things about me. If you see drama coming, the best thing to do is go low-key, and just try not to assume that you know what's going on, try not to assume that the person who's saying these things actually means it, because this is the internet. We're all hiding behind screen names, we're all going to just say whatever we want to say. Try to not take it personally, try to just let it go low-key and see if it'll go by, just quietly slip away. That's not always the case, but
What do you do when it does escalate?
get help. Do not try to go it alone. Back up, find someone with a very, very level head, 2 or 3 people even if you can help it, but find someone with a very level head, someone who's not attached to the situation at all, you know, as objective as you can. Even better if they don't know, like if they know you really, really well, but they don't know the other person, you can say, okay, here's what's going on. But remember that there's always 2 sides to the story, and you need to find someone who's able to say, okay, but you kind of started that, and call you on it. So I think the way that I've survived any drama that I've had is like, oh.
Now, when you're making friendships online, careful, watch it. When you're making friendships online, especially if you're maybe a different age from other people, or maybe you're a girl and a lot of the guys you're playing with are guys, things like that, how do you handle being a minority? So like, Paige, you're the only girl on your SMP server, aren't you?
Well, until recently, I was the only girl on an SMP server, but fortunately, there were some really great guys on there. One of them is in the audience right now, and I met 4 of them earlier today. And I think if you're in a minority situation, the best thing is to try and find what you have in common. It's like, everyone on my server has a pretty similar sense of humour, so we can joke about all kinds of things, have lots of fun. We're all different people, but we're all trying to like work together to make our server great. So I think after a while, being like the only girl or something like that doesn't matter anymore. So like once you start building things up, the differences in everything just don't matter anymore.
False, you're in kind of a similar situation on Hermitcraft. You're one of just 2 girls right now, right?
Yeah. I've never actually found it an issue though. I mean, I've been on many servers in the past, and you know, there's always been a mix or 1 or 2, and I've actually not found it to be an issue. But I guess because you know, we've all got the same interests. We're all just playing Minecraft. We're all just making videos and collaborating where we can. And, yeah, it doesn't seem to really make a difference to me. I mean, really, but yeah, I think it's great.
And then Mary, you kind of dealt with a different type of diversity.
Yeah, my difference is I'm usually the oldest person on the server, in this group, or whatever I'm into. I'm in my 50s, I have 5 grandchildren, and you don't find many gaming grandmothers as far as I know. And if there are any, keep doing it. We need more.
How about for you?
I'm in the same kind of situation as her. I mean, there's a couple of us that were on our servers, the only females. I'm the only female in Minecraft. And I think the hardest part for me was to just overcome it in my own mind. Like, the hardest challenge for me was to live up to the expectation of, I'm the only girl. Like, what do people expect the only girl to be? I don't expect me to be anything but just someone who plays Minecraft. Like, just log on, play Minecraft, and get over it. But I kept thinking that, like, I had to be a certain way or live up to an expectation. And once I realized that, like, I've been friends with these guys for years, and they like me for my personality and not because I'm a girl. It's not my minority that makes me different. What makes me different is the fact that I get the opportunity to play with these guys, and that's what I just need to continue focusing on. So, in my, I guess, situation, like, it doesn't really make me a minority. The only difference is I'm a girl and not a boy, but we're all there for the same reason, I guess.
And when you first joined Minecraft, there was kind of some pushback. What kind of reaction did you get, and how did you deal with that?
I mean, it was really funny, right? Like, there was so much positivity, so much people that were like, yeah, they finally got a girl, this is awesome. And I was like, yeah, I'm a girl, this is awesome. And then there were some people who were like, literally one of the like most popular comments was, you ruined the boys club. Like, and I was like, well, what did I ruin? Like, what? I don't get it. And I mean, I was really upset. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I cried a couple times. But anytime people have to face something that's different, they're not going to like it. So even if I was a boy, if I had been a boy who spoke another language, I would have ruined that club of like English primary speaking things, right? Or if I had been any type of different, maybe I only like when Sebadus joined. Sebadus is only a Twitch streamer. They said, well, you're ruining what Minecraft is because you're not a YouTuber. So it's not me personally that they hated, it was the change. And I think once you're able to like look in the face of adversity and realize that like people don't not like you for you, they don't like you because you've now made them come to terms with the fact that what they thought was this thing is now different, it makes it a lot easier. It's not me that they like. They could have plugged any girl into my shoes, or they could have plugged any person that was different than the typical Minecraft, you know, cookie cutter, and they wouldn't have liked it. And so you're gonna face times, especially on YouTube or when you're gaming or when you're joining a server where you are different, and that's great. Like, that is awesome. Like, you should go in and break down all the molds and break down all the walls and just realize that, like, I said this earlier on a panel, like, you could be like the best, sweetest cup of tea ever, and someone's gonna be like, I hate tea. Well, okay, that's great, hate tea, but I'm still my cup of tea, and I like it, and my friends like it, and I'm going to continue enjoying my game despite the fact that I'm different than something that you're used to.
Now, I know we probably have some parents in the audience, so I want to talk about, I'm going to give this one to you, Graf. So Ari's talked a little bit about being a mom. You're also a mom. So how are you planning on helping your daughters as they start to get to an age-appropriate place where they can play multiplayer? How are you going to handle helping your kids develop online friendships?
That's a scary thought. So hers is 6, mine just turned 6, and I've got another one that's 2. That I'm honestly not entirely sure because the nature of the internet is so incredibly, well, it's fluctuating all the time. But I'm actually hoping that our group of women can help change the internet and make it a little bit safer place for our little ones. But it's going to be slowly. Whatever I do, it's going to be very slowly. And while I raise my children to be able to think for themselves and to act for themselves, and I try not to say you will do this and you will do it this way, but I can't control that on the internet, and I know that. And I know that, you know, I can't say that I can keep either one of my daughters completely safe. But what I can do is I can teach them real life principles. Don't give your name to strangers. Don't promise anything you can't deliver. Don't tell them where we live. You know, basically, I'm actually kind of currently doing that because I have a very social, gregarious child, and she knows no stranger. So I'm trying to teach her some boundaries, and I'm trying to teach her things. You know, if you're uncomfortable, talk about it to someone who can help you. And I think real life safety tips, just then when she's ready to get on the computer, we're going to say, okay, now whatever you wouldn't do in the mall, we're not going to do online.
And I know, Winter, you're a mom too, so do you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, I have 3 children. My oldest is 15, and she's very much in the YouTube community with me. I've actually done a couple UHCs with her. So a lot of the people who know me know my daughter because she's kind of a troll. She can handle her own, and I don't worry about her at all because she doesn't really take anything from anybody. But I have 2 younger children that are 9 and 6, and I only let them go on specific servers because I know they're moderated. But I'm the classic overprotective mom who's like, let me see what you're doing, let me watch over your shoulder. So I mostly drill into their head, just don't give any personal information out because that's just not something you want to do. Be careful who you're talking to. I'm very overprotective of my children.
So I haven't gotten to the point yet where I've actually let my daughter go online. We only play like on just her and I together. But one of the things that I think is really key and really important is that even still today, you know, we're sitting up here and we have a panel of 10 women. There's still a huge misconception among young children that gaming is for boys. And my daughter is a huge Minecraft fan, huge. She wears Minecraft shirts to school, she brings toys for show and tell. Like, she's very much into gaming, Disney Infinity, like all of that stuff. And she's gotten bullied at school. Gaming is for boys. Gaming is for boys. And it happens all the time to young children. She's 6 years old, she's in kindergarten, she's moving into 1st grade, and even in summer camp, they tell her gaming is for boys. And it's great because she can be like, well, my mom plays video games for a job. And I'm like, yeah, you tell them. And then they're like, no, she doesn't. So I think that one of the best things for me as a parent is to try to take situations where I had to deal with that as a young teenager growing up. I loved playing The Sims. I would go home after high school and I would play The Sims for hours, and all my girlfriends were like, oh, why do you play video games? All my guy friends were like, I mean, it's kind of cool, but like, you're not a dude. So it's like my job as a parent to raise my daughter in an environment where she learns that there's nothing that is for girls and there's nothing that is for boys. And I am, along with these women, proof that you can do anything despite what somebody tells you. It doesn't matter if you're a girl, it doesn't matter if you're a boy, it doesn't matter what race, gender, religion, whatever. Because here's a panel of very different people from very different backgrounds from all over the world, and we all have the ability to do something that defies what we were told we could not do. So I think that it's really key as parents that we get the opportunity to do that and be those examples that we hope to set for our kids.
I like that answer. That's good. Yeah. Goosebumps. Goosebumps. So to kind of go back to the idea of drama, Mary, you manage a server. How do you juggle being kind of in a management role while also like maintaining those friendships? Like how do you balance that?
Well, my server is called the Lady Empire server, or #Empire. And I've actually had the server for 3 or 4 years, I can't really remember. We're on our second map, and the way it started is I was in a gaming forum, and Minecraft came out, and everybody wanted a server to play on. So I ordered one, I set it up, and it was our forum community. And then, along with them, I also invited some of my family, some of my friends, and kind of what's happened is the people I invite are people that I have met, that I have played with, that I know online, and I know these people pretty well. Now sometimes those friends will say, hey, can I ask this friend to come on? And it's like, yes, but you're responsible if something happens, and I want you to know that up front. So if they grieve or they're not appropriate, then I need them to know then you both may be off, if it's not good. And then recently I joined another community, the immersive community, and that brought about 7 more players in, and it's also made everything more active. And I'm friends with all these people, and I have to say honestly, we've not had drama. I've not had to ban anyone, and I've not had to really come down on anyone because the rules are set up front. We have a Skype chat that we can talk about things, and I hopefully think that anybody can come to me if there's an issue, talk about it, and if it's something bad, then I talk to the person that's creating the drama, and they will be off the server. I mean, friends or no, and it's like, we're still friends, but you can't play if you do that. And it's worked so far.
All right, so that concludes the formal portion of our panel. We're going to take some questions. Do we have a microphone set up? Awesome. All right.
Not all at once. Don't run to the front to ask questions or anything. But you totally can see this gentleman right here. If you have questions for anyone on this panel, he's wearing a lovely green Minecon shirt, a pair of beautiful black shoes.
Even if the questions aren't about friendship.
Yes. Yay! Yay, questions. You can line up too. If you have questions, you can line up. Don't be shy. We're all friends here. This is a panel on friendship. Yes.
So I know a lot of you have met over like World of Warcraft or RuneScape or something like that. How did you guys all meet?
Well, let's see here. So I guess, wow, that's a tough question. How did we all meet? Okay, so I met Mary through, let's go back to how Graf and I met. Okay. So she was at Minecon 2013. And at that point in time, I had a full-time job. I was doing YouTube and Twitch streaming in my spare time. And I had a couple of really good friends from a server, an SMP server that I had been on, who all went to Minecon. And I saw a lot of people tweeting pictures with this woman named Graphoniac. And I was like, she seems really cool. I'm kind of nervous. And I happened to be in a group chat with you. And so when everybody got back,
I wasn't in the group chat until after Minecon. Blue added me.
Okay, that's right. And so I looked you up on Skype because we had some mutual friends, and I added you, and I like wrote this whole little note when I was adding you. I was like, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm a friend of so-and-so. I just saw you in all these photos from Minecon 2013, and I just thought you seemed like a really cool person, and she's a YouTuber as well, and so I thought maybe we should collaborate together sometime. So I sent this off, and then a few days later, she got added to our Godiva chat because that was November of 2013, right when we were gearing up for our first all-girls UHC. And you said in that chat, you were like, you know, I keep my Skype private just for friends and family. And I was like, oh, abort. So I went back and I deleted my friend request to her. and now we're friends.
Well, from my side of the view, yeah, I was at Minecon 2013, and I was looking for other women gamers, and I was kind of hoping to find some in my age group, or at least, you know, peer group. And I actually saw Winter twice, but she was with her daughter, and they were talking, and I wasn't going to interrupt because I didn't know you at all. And so I was kind of disappointed that I didn't see more mom gamers. Every mom that was there was like, so my son plays Minecraft. And I'm just like, oh, please. So, I'm sorry?
I said I was there.
I didn't know you, I'm sorry. So I was kind of disappointed, and then the party started happening, and Blue, just call me Blue, or Blue Bayou, was there, and she found me. She vultured in on me, and she says, "You're a woman, you play games." I'm like, yeah, don't you? Actually, I knew who she was at the time. I was really glad to meet her. And she says, "Yeah, you seem cool. You can be added to the group." I'm like, what group? I'm sorry, what's going on? She says, "Well, we're having an all-women's UHC. You want to play?" I said, "I don't PvP, but I can learn." So I got added to the group. And then I actually didn't ever see the letter. I don't know what she's talking about. Phew. But I got added to the group. So we're all like teaming up and stuff, and I see MK, and she's all like happy, gregarious, and adorable, and everybody loves her, and I'm like, okay, so that's the girl that I want to collab with, but will never collab with because everybody loves her, and I'm really shy, and I'm never gonna get to talk to her at all. But I then stopped, and I found her Twitch channel, and I became a regular, and
we actually started talking, and then I added her on Skype again. Ta-da!
I had a very different experience in joining this group. I think besides Aurelian, everyone else was added from the start, and I was added just before the second UHC, and I knew Morgwen, who was the one who invited me. I think Hinge and I had interacted on Twitter a couple of times, and
just a few times.
Yeah, just a few. And then I think MK, we were in that Halloween charity live stream once, but I didn't really know you at all. So I was added to this group. Morgan was just like, "Oh yeah, it's a girls' UHC group, you know, why don't you join?" I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." And I was put in this Skype group with like 20 other girls who I knew 3 of, and I was like, oh gosh, what do I do? I don't know any of these people. But I'm like the biggest chatterbox on Skype ever, so I got to know everyone really, really quickly. But sometimes it's just about, I guess, jumping into the deep end and being like, okay, I know almost nobody in this group. Oh my gosh, everybody has like so many subscribers, and I feel like tiny small beans in this group. Not least because of my height. So I had to make it myself as well, and else make the joke. So yeah, sometimes it is just about diving into the deep end and being like, okay, you know, I know a couple of these ladies in this group, so I trust that all the people in this group are going to be nice. Just start talking and start making friends, and I can say that everyone on this panel, I'm really happy that I know. So.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and get our next question.
Hi. So I'm actually, when you're talking with like a woman being a minority in areas, I'm actually going into the field of computer science, which is definitely a very men's area. And I was just wondering any advice for like going into a field like an occupation where you're a man?
Well, as I said before, I'm in IT, and it's usually a pretty male-dominated field. I remember when I started working at the college, and as a student tech, and it's kind of scary, but nowadays, they just treat you like one of the guys. As long as you're not like acting super, I don't know, just you really just gotta be one of the guys. And it's not as hard as it looks. In fact, now where I work, there's actually 3 other women in the IT department, so it's becoming more and more a women's job just as much as a guy. So.
When I started working at Twitch, I worked in the partnerships team, and I was the only female in our department, and it was fine. Like, when you become into a professional organization, people will look at you more for your credentials than the fact that you're a woman. So as long as you continue to do your best, your work is going to speak for itself. It doesn't really matter if you're a female or a male. Like, you're just going to do fine because you're smart. You'll do great. When I graduated college, this was a long time ago. When I graduated college several years ago, one of my professors handed me this book.
The exhibition hall will be closing in 15 minutes.
Thank you for that announcement.
Will be closing in 15.
You have 15 minutes, so we will talk about it. My college professor handed me this book, and it was called Nice Girls Don't Be in the Corner Office. And it was a book about don't be a girl, pretty much. And I have hated that book ever since he gave it to me, and I would love to go back and be like, what's up, I work at gaming now, and I do everything that book told me not to do. So I think it's just, there's this huge misconception that you have to be any different than you are. Like if you're the first female in a profession, awesome, because you are paving the way for every other girl to get into that profession. So be yourself, do what you can do, and let your work speak for itself and not the fact that you're a girl.
All right, next question.
So let's say you met someone on the internet and another person say that the person that you met did bad things, and who would you believe?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you like I would tell my daughter. Default to safety. You can't trust anyone on the internet, and you just have to default to safety. It really doesn't matter how well you think you know them. I have actually been in a few situations where I was getting to know, I had some online pen pals. This was back in the days of the chat room, and I talked with them for several months, and I thought that, hey, I think I'm getting to know this person, and then they suddenly turned out to be a real jerk. So as frustrating as it's going to be, I would say always default to safety, and you can't necessarily believe either one of them. So just mind yourself and don't trust either.
All right, next question.
My daughter creates videos and uploads them to YouTube, and she's been begging to get a face cam, and I'm very resistant because I just wonder, are there any special precautions or things to think about before I say yes? Because I'd like to say yes, but right now I've been saying no.
So I avoided using face cams for a really, really long time. I think for young women, young girls, it's probably more of a precaution than us as adult females, because me as an adult female, I avoided it for a really long time, because you can tell from my voice that I'm a female, and instantly when you're online, especially in the gaming culture, unfortunately, and thankfully we're growing into becoming more accepted and it's not a big deal, but there's still an uphill battle that we have right now as women. And so when you have a face cam, it's more apparent, and the content and the things that people are looking at stops becoming focused on your gameplay sometimes and starts becoming about you personally. And especially for a young girl, my biggest advice would be let people focus on your content itself. And naturally there were times where like you're at UHC, like they were talking about they gift everyone's face, where we were like, oh, you lose a lot of that when you lose a face cam, but you also gain a lot by safety, you gain a lot by protecting yourself, and you gain a lot by protecting yourself from criticisms that you will get. It doesn't matter how pretty you think you are, how pretty you actually are in life, people are going to criticize the way that you look, or they'll say something about you or discredit you. If it were my daughter, I would say no. Sorry if you're in the audience, young daughter. But I would say wait until she gets older and her videos kind of speak more for themselves, because it is a huge step to put your face on the internet and to be recognized when you walk out the front door. That would just be my biggest advice.
If you really want to make a point to her, remember this. No one knows what either looks like.
Yeah, nobody knows what they look like. I don't think I revealed my face on YouTube or Twitch or Instagram or Twitter or anything until I've been doing content creation for almost a year. And at that point, I worked in a job where my boss was really intense and very kind of prejudiced against gaming and technology. And I was afraid that if she found out what I did with my spare time, that she would have come up with some excuse to fire me. So I had this kind of double thing going on where I didn't want anybody in my real life to know that I was doing gaming, and I didn't want anybody in gaming to know who I was in real life. So I kept them very separate for a very long time.
I would like to add though, as a YouTuber that makes videos about video games, you're a content creator. What you look like doesn't matter. it's what you do. And that's a lot of us sometimes don't even have face cam on. None of my videos on YouTube have face cam on. Because it doesn't matter. It's about the content we make. And that's the identity we have online. Because online we can be anybody we want.
All right, next question.
Hi, I'm a father of 2 girls, and one of them is 10, and she's really big into Minecraft. She wants to play on more servers. So would you girls recommend, apart from the typical one, which is a Hypixel server, what servers would you recommend for a young 10-year-old to play on?
I mean, in terms of like mini games, I would say that Mineplex is the one that I play on. The biggest issue is whenever you have a huge like multiplayer online server, you can't protect them from chat. Like certain servers like Mineplex ban certain words, so there's a filter where you can kind of protect them from that. I know that what some communities have done in the past is local libraries have Minecraft servers for kids, and so I would contact like a library or a school because there are oftentimes local communities who will do, or like Minecraft for the neighborhood, like one of the parents will set up a Minecraft server for other kids in the neighborhood so that it stays local, and then they grow from there. I was talking to a parent the other day who set up a Minecraft server for the 5 kids in his neighborhood, and there's now 50 kids from their entire community that play on it. So if you can't find one of people you trust, make one, and then let your kids invite their friends and let it kind of grow organically and naturally so that you have a little bit more control over who she's playing with.
I mean, one of the servers that I go on quite a lot in my live streams and stuff is the Emerald Isle, which is mini games and swam games and things, which I find to be pretty safe. But I mean, another thing you can do for public servers, joining any of them, you can just kind of turn your chat off, I guess, in settings if necessary, if you feel it's necessary, and then I guess you don't see any profanity or anything like that.
I think another good thing, especially if there's any YouTubers which he likes to watch, sometimes YouTubers have servers which like open servers that they like to play on with their fans or something like that. And if it's a YouTuber that you trust that your children enjoy watching, sometimes that's a good way as well. And then that's also good because it's kind of a common interest. If everyone playing on that server also likes that YouTuber, then you kind of know you maybe a similar frame of mind. They're all going to be kind of nice fans who just want to play with other fans. So sometimes it's good to look to the YouTubers as well.
Also, some modded servers might have like some open servers to go play on, so you can learn how to work with the mods, so that might also be another idea.
Alright, next question.
If you could only have YouTube or Twitch, which one would you use?
Twitch.
YouTube.
You know, oh wow, you got one for YouTube, one for Twitch?
I can't stream.
Twitch.
I love you, Ari, but I'm on the same idea though, streaming over YouTube.
I would say depend on my living situation because I've been out traveling so much, so YouTube would have worked for me then. But I enjoy streaming also, so I would say Twitch is the favorite.
So I'm going to say YouTube because I have more content on there, and I was doing things to YouTube before Twitch. I'm fairly new to Twitch. The end of last year I started streaming, been off and on trying to find my rhythm and stuff. So
I actually don't have a decision. I love them both equally. I mean, they're both very different. I mean, videos you can edit it and edit what you say and stuff, but Twitch is like completely different. You can't go back and take something back what you've said and done or whatever. So, but I think, I mean, I started with YouTube, so I guess I would go with that.
I think I would have said, maybe a year ago I would have said YouTube, but it's definitely more Twitch now because now that I'm at university, I don't have as much time to like record and then edit and then schedule all the uploads. And I just really, really love the viewer interaction on Twitch because if someone puts a comment on a YouTube video and then you respond and it's kind of like a very broken conversation sometimes, whereas Twitch you can interact with them there and then, and it's just so much fun live streaming, so I'd say Twitch.
Personally, I like YouTube anything. I usually just record for 30 minutes, call it good, post that. So lazy, but live streaming is a lot more work because then I'm sitting there for 2 hours as opposed to 30 minutes. So I like YouTube a little bit better.
How long have you been playing Minecraft?
2.5 years.
About 3.5 years.
I guess it would be 4 years since it came out in alpha.
I have no idea about how many years, but it was like beta 1.3 or something, just before beta introduced it.
I'm really bad with time. I have no idea. 1.2.3, that's all I know.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 years. I started my YouTube channel in 2012, I think. And I think I was playing a little bit before that, so yeah, 3 or 4 years.
I have honestly no idea how long. But I remember that I came to school and one of my classmates said, Sandra, you need to check out this is so cool. So, and that was my first interaction with a creeper, was fantastic. Everything blew up and it was great. Yeah, it's back then when it came out. I got an alpha key before it was available.
I started playing about 1.2.4. My oldest daughter wanted it for her birthday. I'd never heard of it, so I looked it up and I'm like, I kind of want to play this game. So I got it myself. My daughter comes home from school. She's like, "Are you playing Minecraft?" No.
I'm the kind of noob because I discovered it in beta 1.8 just before the official release came out, so I'm kind of the newbie, but I love it so much.
Alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and just take one last question, and since we're bumping up against the expo hall closing, we'll do like 5 minutes of signings and selfies and stuff like that.
What are your views on Skyping someone on a server who you've never met before in real life, or as in audio Skyping?
Audio Skyping, ooh.
I would don't do it. If you were gonna talk to somebody that's online that you've met, try to do something that's like a TeamSpeak or a Mumble. Skype has a lot of vulnerabilities, and if you don't know who you're talking to, they can find out where you live using your Skype. There's an IP address type thing where they can find your IP and then find out actually where you live, what your parents' names are. So if you're going to talk to someone you don't know, you need to use another public method, like a TeamSpeak, like a Mumble, like something else, because Skype is very, very personal, and it's why a lot of times people will ask YouTubers like, oh, can you give me your Skype? And we don't say no to be mean. We say no because it's a personal protective thing for us to protect our identities and to protect our own safety. I would not Skype people that you don't know at all.
Solid. Alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap that up unless anybody else had anything to add. Thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you.